Item: SCP-1364. Code name: Ultra-Vulnerable Mammal. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures. At this time, there are no means of keeping SCP-1364 completely safe, and methods are currently being researched into the minimization of damage dealt to SCP-1364. SCP-1364 should be contained within two interconnected 10 meters x 10 meters x 5 meters chambers with 40 centimeters padded impact-resistant polyester lining on all inside surfaces. The areas should remain completely devoid of light and external sound. The containment chambers should be kept completely empty to ensure SCP-1364 remains docile and healthy. Any observation of damage taken by SCP-1364, or any signs of pain should be dealt with promptly with any resources available to aid in minimizing damage. One cell is to be kept at a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius at all times. The cell opposite is to be kept at 30 degrees Celsius. The chambers should be positioned in such a way to provide easy access between each for SCP-1364. Personnel are forbidden to interact with SCP-1364 in any way save for manipulation of a projector using shadows to depict calming situations on the wall of SCP-1364's containment chamber. A Foundation-issued audio CD entitled Nature Sounds is to be on constant playback within the cell at a volume of 10 decibels, looping alongside playback similar to Shepard tones. The chamber itself is to be filtered for contaminants on a low cycle each hour. Description: SCP-1364 is a small, mammalian creature resembling an anteater. SCP-1364 is friendly, on certain occasions attempting to embrace researchers with an elongated tongue located near its nostrils. It does not appear to be sapient, and shows limited if diminishing signs of intelligence. SCP-1364 has extremely poor endurance and mobility depending on its current state. SCP-1364's physical form remains relatively static when unexposed to a significant amount of stimulus. However, the creature grows increasingly vulnerable to even the most negligible of stimulus with prolonged exposure. The subject seems to respond normally to a stimulus on the first exposure, but repeated stimulus is exponentially more harmful. Despite the presence of a digestive system, SCP-1364 does not seem to require sustenance. Testing reveals that the creature in fact fares better without it, as the process of mastication, swallowing, digestion, and defecation results in significant bodily stress. The cause of SCP-1364's extreme vulnerability has not yet been discovered, as the body shows no specific physical anomalies. SCP-1364 appears to heal at a standard rate when left alone. The creature was discovered after repeated reports of its disappearing and reappearing beneath floors and inside walls at zoo's nursery prior to containment. Amnestics were administered to witnesses after recovery. Addendum 1364-A. Documentation of first experiment with SCP-1364 by site biologist Dr. Sanders. Dr. Sanders: Hi there, little guy. We're going to. SCP-1364 appears to shield its ears with its paws. Dr. Sanders: Hey, what's wrong, little fella? SCP-1364 begins to cry, emitting liquid from tear glands and vocalizing a low wail. Dr. Sanders attempts to pick up SCP-1364. SCP-1364 starts to rub its eyes. Skin in contact with the tears begins to burn slightly. Hair begins to fall off. Dr. Sanders, yelling, "Someone get in here. What the hell is wrong with this thing?" SCP-1364 begins bleeding from the ears. Dr. To Dr. Sanders via microphone. Abort testing. Dr. Sanders places SCP-1364 on the floor of the containment chamber and exits the cell. SCP-1364 curls into a fetal position and begins rocking back and forth. End log.